You know that 90% of the startups fail, so we'll try to break this curse by building public with you guys. So at the end of this series, not just me, but you as well will have the knowledge to build your own startup. This is the first episode of my startup journey, where I go from zero to building something real from the scratch. We're gonna walk together these steps, and I hope that you're gonna learn a lot with me. I'll navigate you through steps like ideation, how to come up with an idea, how to validate the market for that idea, how to prototype that idea and create a very simple MVP and get users to use it, setting realistic goals, and even how can you find funding. If you're starting from the scratch just like me, this will give you a strong foundation. Hey, I'm Pedro and I've been through the ups and downs of building a startup, more downs than ups. In this episode, we are gonna cover how to brainstorm ideas, the challenges that many of us face at the start, my proven strategies for brainstorming and developing your concept. If I were you, I would stick until the end because one thing connects to the other, and it's very important that you get them all together. So starting by ideation, there's very specific concepts and myths that we need to break first. So a very important steps is identify untouched problems. So Uber was not the first ride-sharing app, but they were the first to execute very well and at scale, and that's what matters. Your app needs to find something that either people hadn't touched, or people couldn't fix, or there's a lot of complaints, and people are willing to migrate from whichever app or software they are using to go to your software. The second, focus on the execution. Look, an idea is just an idea. The way you can make that idea a reality is by execution. Your app to the customers, how you're going to develop and how you're going to market, and related to how you're going to track the users' retention, conversion rates, everything. This is execution, and this is what matters, because if you don't know this, you will need to learn. And to create a successful app, you will need these things eventually. The third, breaking limiting beliefs. You need to, whatever idea you're on, you need to break limiting beliefs like there's too many of these, or like there's too many of AI apps, or this is too complicated, I won't be able. Because if you don't break these limiting beliefs, very likely you won't be able to do the app, because you won't believe in the app yourself. And if you don't believe in the app yourself, other people won't believe in you. And the fourth, finding pain points. This is a very important thing. Most of the people, they want to create replicas, right? They want to create a Notion app, Canva app, but often if you already do the same thing that someone is doing, but you're not targeting any of the pain problems or the issues that that person already has, all their problems will be your problems, and basically you won't have any differentiator from them, and they will win all the time because they have more marketing, they have more infrastructure, they have money to burn to be cheaper than you. So you need to have a different approach. You need to focus on the things that they don't do very well, but you can do great. So over here is some wrong concepts. The first myth is never share your idea. It's what we talked before, execution is king. I'll give an example. If I ask you, myself, and someone else to create a translation app, do you really think if we haven't talked with each other, we would do the same translation app? Very likely no. And this is the reason why sharing your idea won't matter, because your execution is unique. People can often clone and replicate apps if the app already exists, but if the app is on your idea, it will be very hard for them to copy because it doesn't exist yet. And your execution, as I said before, would be different than my execution and will be different than someone else's execution. Another myth, you must be first. Google wasn't the first, Uber wasn't the first, Facebook wasn't the first. It's being the one that executes very well. Another myth is too saturated, there's no room. Look, there's workout apps being launched probably every day. I really don't think if you're targeting a specific pain point of your customer, they will mind about having another workout app. There's never too many or never too much of something. Another myth, it needs to be a rule-breaking app. How many apps or softwares is truly rule-breaking? Almost none. Very few. And they all become rule-breaking because they're heavily backed by venture capitals, or they were already a company and they just reinvented something, or they just put more money into R&D. It's just things and concepts that already existed and people took time to just develop and create and repackage with a new and nicer name. So now let's talk about brainstorm strategies. Starting by these core strategies over here, the first one is mind mapping. For me, mind mapping is my favorite because it's the only time where I know by putting all the words, thoughts into the paper or into a visual board, just like Scully Draw over here, is when I get my ideas answers clear, and also when I can categorize and understand my problems with a different perspective than on my own thoughts. The second, with feedback loops. There is a huge business nowadays around Reddit forums, Facebook groups, where people are actively listening to customer pain points. It's just a gold mine. Imagine if you can see a forum where everyone is complaining about a specific product or service, you can just create a service that fixes that specific problem. And that's the power of Reddit, Facebook forums, and anything related to your niche where you have some sort of open community. And the third, the time box ideation. Some people, they thrive when they have pressure. For example, hackathons where you have the time constraint of either delivering the whole code in a day or in a few hours, and then you have to develop, ideate, and build and fix everything into specific hours. Some people, they like that kind of challenges, and if that's for you, that would be a great option as well. Over here, let's talk about the common myths. The first one, it requires creativity. Coming up with an idea, it requires attention to what's happening on your environment, what's happening with you, and things that you would like to improve for yourself. I think I have tons of ideas, but it's mainly because I am aware of the things that are happening to me and the things I want to do, the things I want to use. So I think for you should be probably the same thing. Just write it down or try to visualize things that you don't like doing or things that are taking up your time that not necessarily are super complex, but they do exist. And another myth, solo is equal to better. If you see YC batches and you see the ratio of the companies founded by a single founder and multiple co-founders, you will see that most of the companies have multiple co-founders. That's usually because YC and these companies, they like the idea of having multiple people working the product. Because if you imagine that one single founder has to deal with everything, the marketing, sales, development of the product, talking with investors, the founder will be very overwhelmed. While if you have multiple co-founders, you can distribute a little bit and it won't be as demanding and overwhelming compared to a solo founder. So I will show exactly step by step of how I came up with one idea. A little bit about my lifestyle. I do programming, so I use AI a lot for programming, and also use AI for image generation, helping me with my scripts, and also I love to try custom instructions for AI to improve all the output I will get from the AI. Because I try a lot of custom instructions, I don't have exactly a place to store them. I often store on Obsidian or Apple Notes, and whenever I need to copy the snippet, I need to replace specific parts of my snippet. And because I need to replace those specific parts, it's very boring because I have to copy the whole snippet and then remove a specific sentence and put into my own words and replace the sentence, right? So I come up with that thought, why not create a snippet manager for myself? Why? Because all the custom instructions would be just in one place, and the custom instructions with a specific keyword, I will be able to just replace those keywords with whatever the text I have, and then just copy that and paste, and it will be ready to use with ChatGPT. I was having a hard time to remember every place I would store my AI prompts, and I just thought it would be nice to have one place where I could organize all my AI snippets. So I can use my Midjourney, I can use Sora, or I can use ChatGPT. It can be used to store another snippets as well. But in this case, I need to niche down. And because AI is very popular and probably there's a lot of people in the market that needs a snippet solution, I will target those people. Like, subscribe, or comment if you find any value in this. Give me your suggestions, please. In the next episode, we're gonna be all about market research. We're gonna see how can we validate if users are willing to use our product. And the most important, if they're also willing to pay for our product.